Hi, I'm Mark and this is Foothill Paint Fabrication. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Got the door off the back of my house. It's got cooked by the sun, it's faded right there, so we're going to be working with some tinted clears, stains, and some clear satin over the top of it when we're done. But we got to work quick because I just got a blanket over the doorway right now. So let's jump on this thing. It'd be nice to get the spray gun out for once. I've been doing a lot of body work and other stuff and no painting, so this will be a nice change of pace. Okay, so this is the outside of my back door, and as you can see at the top here where the sun doesn't cook it, it looks really nice, right? But as you go down farther and farther, it deteriorates more and more. So the lower end gets a lot of sun because the porch protects the top. So this is pretty dried out, kind of flaky a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sand the really rough spots. And then we'll steel wool everything on the top end here so we know the clear is going to stick. So let's get some sanding done, and then we'll talk about what we're going to use to fix this. Okay, so we just got steel wool, and I'm just going to try to be systematic about this. Get the corners and just do a really quick scuff on this. And then just on top of the mullions or whatever these things are called here. All right, and I'm gonna do the glass real quick just to get it good and clean. So when I'm done, I don't have to clean it that much. All right, so for those of you that don't know, steel wool makes a great glass cleaner. If you got water spots or stuff on there that you're having trouble getting off, you want to use like a 3/0. An SOS pad works great too on your car. The old style ones that are made of steel wool with soap in it, not the new plastic kind, those don't work. You just have to make sure that it's a fine steel wool and that you don't drop it on the ground. Because you pick up a piece of sand or something stuck in it, then you go rubbing around on your glass, you're going to scratch your glass. So, but it does a really good job for older glass that, you know, kind of frosted up a little bit or something. Try a piece of steel wool. Make sure it's fine though, and then you'll be surprised how clean you can get your glass. Okay, the next step is going to be masking all these panes, and it's going to be a pain, pun intended. So I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. There's no reason boring you with masking. I'm going to lay it down and use a razor blade to cut the corner, then lay it down, razor blade to cut the corner, so each piece doesn't have to nail exactly. And then I'll probably mask a piece of paper inside of it. I'm not going to try to make a piece of paper and make it fit and, you know, that kind of thing. So we're just going to go around the perimeter with some 3/4 inch and then fill in the center with some paper. I'll cut some sheets to fit and then we'll tape that down real quick. I'll bring you back. Okay, I thought I'd show you real quick the way I mask. I've masked for years and years. So just got a razor. And what I do is I lay it down and then cut at the end. So this piece has already been cut square with the razor blade. So we're just going to roll it down. And I use the edge of the masking roll to get me up against the edge real nice, okay? And then I don't have to worry about getting it down in the corner here, because we've already got that done on the last piece, and then just gently push it down and pull it along, and then we're just going to pull it down here and not pull too much pressure on it, and just run right down the edge of that, just like that. We're going to push it in the corner. I'm going to flip the razor blade over. You can use a putty knife for this. Just got to be careful not to cut yourself. And then I'll run the back side of that razor blade down in there to bury it down in the corner, and then I'll just cut it. And then I'll stick the razor blade back down in that corner real tight, and I'll pull it off, and it's done. So now we have that corner done, so all we have to do is go up to it. And the good thing is we don't have to get down and deep down inside that corner. We've already got the corner done. We just have to slide this up next to the edge and then roll it down right along that edge, just like that. And we'll pull it long. Get it laid down in there. Just like that. Same thing. Just use the back side of the razor blade to push it in. Cut it and pull. And so we're done. So that took me 35 minutes to do 9 panes like this, obviously. And then I'm just going to make a template out of some masking paper and cut a bunch a little bit oversized or a little bit undersized here, and that way I can mask around this real quick with paper, and then we'll be done with this. So next thing we'll be doing is mixing up some stain. Okay, so what we're going to use to try to blend some of this light colored sand through areas with the darker colors, I have this stain. This was actually mixed for me for some cherry cabinets I was building, and it was the wrong color. So, but I think I can go in and dab and move it around on here and try to get this to look kind of the same color. And then we'll spray the PolyShades over the top of it, and that'll blend it more. And then hopefully it'll all look the same when we're done. This is a wiping stain. It dries really quick. So we're just going to get this on here real quick. Anything will look better than it was. Got a lot down here. Really got cooked down here. Now on the top portion here, I'm just using the rag with what's on it to try to blend this together. Just a quick wipe with it. And if I hit a chip or something that's showing a lot of white wood, I'll go ahead and go over that real good. Now obviously I am staining over the top of clear in some spots. And I've done it before. My gloves are falling apart. I've done it before with a lot of success. So this happens to be a wiping stain. It's going to dry very quickly. It's not an oily type stain. We just got to make sure we try to blend in our work here so it all looks kind of even. Looks better already. Not perfect, but the way to do it right would be to strip this down to bare wood, which I am not going to do for this door. I'd buy a new door before I did that. With these individual panes, it would be a real pain. and not worth it. This door is not that valuable. So now I'm going to take a dry rag and wipe off the whole thing and see if I can blend this together a little bit. Okay, there's a chip over here that didn't want to take stain. So dab some in there. Look for any others I missed. Right there. Right here. It'll take a few minutes to hit anything I missed. Okay, the next step for this door is spraying on a little bit of this PolyShades, this Minwax PolyShades. Basically what this is clear that's been tinted in different colors. So I'm going to spray a light coat to try to blend some stuff in. If you were to brush this on, the more coat you brush on, the darker it gets. So with this, I'm going to get out probably the small gun, maybe the medium gun, and we'll pour some of this in there and then spray this and blend it a little bit, and then we'll let that dry and put 2 coats of clear satin over the top and we'll be done. Okay, I decided to use my crappy old primer gun. I use just a cheap old Harbor Freight gun for spraying primer usually. So we're just going to pour some of this in. This can here is really old. We're just going to strain it in here. Not going to need a lot, but I think I'm going to go ahead and strain this in here. I've got another can of this that doesn't have chunks in it like this one, so I'm going to strain this out. We'll set this old can outside to dry, and once it's thoroughly dry we can throw it in the trash. Okay, I got the camera set back pretty far. The stain is dried all the way, so we're going to do a little bit of blending up around the top and then bring it down a little bit to this darker area. Now this is darker, and then just hit it really light and then let it dry and we'll put some clear on it. Okay, this Bombay Bear Shades is satin, so I see that it's all dulled out, so I know it's ready for the next coat. We're going to be spraying some clear satin over the top to protect this color. Probably I'll do 1 coat down here and then let it dry, and then do 1 coat over the whole thing to protect it. So probably lay it on a little heavier through here because it's where it's all dried out, and then we'll let it sit, and then we'll put a full wet coat over the whole thing to tie it all together, and that'll be it. Okay, it's all done. Got about 3.5 hours in the whole thing. So it looks a lot better. It's still a little sticky, so it's going to have to dry. I may have a blanket for a back door all night. Certainly don't want to put it up and have it stick, so that's about it. Came out pretty good. Not great, not perfect, but you know, that part looks a lot better than it did. And this just started with me replacing hinges. The hinges were worn and the door was starting to sag, so I bought some bearing hinges, ball bearing hinges on Amazon, and then next thing you know, I'm refinishing it. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Okay, that just about wraps up this project. We got the door refinished here. It looks pretty good. Not perfect, but it looks way better than it did, so I'm really happy. You just start off with changing out some hinges, and I went down the rabbit hole like usual, so it's refinished. I'm happy I did it. So thanks for joining me here at Foothill Paint and Fabrication. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you.